What is going on, nerds and nerdettes? It's your boy Stevie B. I know it's late. I had a lot to do today, and I'm just now sitting down to do my haul video. Lucky for you, it's only 4 books, so it won't take long. But had to mow, my yard, and then I actually had a buyer come over to look and bought some comic books. So some sales. Good. Speaking of sales, I never mentioned it on here. Probably why I don't ever sell nothing. But I do have a TeePublic store. Just search Stevie B Comics on TeePublic, and you can get your Stevie B merch, and logo hats, T-shirts, and whatever have you. And I've also got some other T-shirt designs that I've thrown on there. So worth checking out. Again, like I said, check it out. Stevie B Comics on TeePublic. If I remember, I'll drop a link to my store in the comments, and you can check it out. Oh, man, is there any news today? So Joe Biden drops out of the presidential race yesterday. Finally, they can quit exploiting that old man, that poor old senile man. I feel bad for him because the Democrats have just exploited him. They finally got backed into a corner when he crapped his pants on national television, and they realized, okay, there's no coming back from that. So, anyway, he finally stepped down. He did not resign. There's a difference. So that doesn't mean that Kamala Harris is now acting president. He is still acting president until his term is up. He is just not running for re-election. So thankfully, Kamala Harris is not in there yet. But he did endorse Kamala Harris. At this point, if Democrats make her the Democratic nominee, it's basically a forfeit. It's a white flag because Kamala Harris is more disliked than Joe Biden was by the Democrats. Democrats don't even like Kamala Harris. So odds are, if they make her the nominee, then it's a surrender. They're surrendering. Back to square one. We'll have to take him in the next election. Is probably what they're thinking at this point. But I'm trying not to get into politics. It's just big news. This is going to be probably the most historic election in our lifetime, right here. And I'm pretty old, so that's a lot. So, but anyway. So that's going on. Went and saw Twisters yesterday at night. You would think at 10 o'clock at night showing there wouldn't be any little crib midgets in there, but no, the whole family of them sat right behind me and Amy. What's that? Through the whole movie. I understand that you got to take the crib midgets with you sometimes. You can't take them. But that's why we went at 10 o'clock at night, because we're thinking nobody's going to drag their kids out to a movie at 10 o'clock at night. I was wrong. So don't be that If you bring your kids and they're loud and obnoxious and they're disrupting all the other moviegoers, take them in the lobby. Do whatever. Don't be that person. If it's a cartoon, if it's a Disney Pixar, then, and I go to the movie theater, I expect to have a bunch of kids in there. But probably not, an adult rated, a movie geared for adults at 10 o'clock at night. Yeah. Anyway, but the movie was fantastic. If you haven't seen it yet, highly recommended it. It full of action. The storyline had some cool plot twists and stuff in it that were really fantastic. They didn't really pay a whole lot of homage to the first one. just, I mean, just that they talked about, they had Dorothy, the original thing was in it in the beginning of the movie, but they really never even referenced the first movie at all. So if you haven't seen the first movie, you could still go watch this movie and you wouldn't be lost. It's a completely different movie, but fantastic. And one thing that made it even better, no political agendas. Oh my God. There was no political agendas. No trying to drive some kind of, cause and, this week's flavor of the month, of the social justice warriors. And it was just good, solid entertainment. And I loved it. But anyway, I think I've killed enough time so that this video wouldn't be 3 minutes long. So, yeah, get a little monologue going in there. But at any rate, let's get on with it. 4 books, but 4 fantastic books. We'll get on with the Midtown stuff first, of course, as we always do. And, of course, we got Crisis on Infinite Earths number 4. God, I wish they would put these out weekly so I could get this whole series. The foil facsimile, of course. And I think this was the death of the Monitor or something. I think that's what this issue was. Loving them. Still loving them. And this one, I gotta quit doing this. I really, really, really gotta quit doing this. Not even a key issue, but I really loved the cover. And it was a number 1. But there's absolutely no key elements to it. There's a Virgin variant of this, but it's ridiculous what they're asking for that. But this is Namor number 1. But I really just love that cover. Like I said, it's not a key. I'm trying to get right. I got about 600 comic books, and I'm trying desperately to thin out for my collection. And here I am buying crap like this because of the cover. I need to stop and buy more stuff like this one. This I picked up. It's a lower grade, but yeah, again, it's early. It's mid late 60s, 66, 67 maybe, or 63. Duh. Oh no, never mind. I think it's 66 or 68. Somewhere in that area. I didn't get the year of it on there. But anyway, this is Tales to Astonish number 63. And this is the first appearance of Gamora. I've already cased it up. It's going to go on the wall. But it's a lower grade. Again, like I said, it's older than I am. So this thing's almost 60 years old. So, you can't expect... at that age, VF is getting kind of scarce and hard to find. You're lucky to get a good, very good copy. And this is probably... 4.5 to 5, whatever. I don't know. I'm not a grader. The way I grade books is that one looks good and this one's a beater. That's why this one's kind of a beater. A little bit of a beater. It's got some spine ticks, but as I said, it'll age well. Now that it's protected, it'll age well. And it's a good key to have. First appearance of Gamora. Loved it. And it's going on its little spot that you can see I have some empty spots over here. Only 2 empty spots left, and then we're talking posters that gotta go. So, man, I am filling up. That's not a bad thing to fill up your wall with wall books. Big keys. I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, I mean, that one's not quite a big key, but someone commissioned to have that one from Squatchy made of me. Oh hell! And it is a Coppertone commercial homage with me and little cripple pony pulling my towel off. So I really liked it. I thought it was clever. So it went on the wall. But anyway, last book. Let's set that aside because it's going on. Last book. Whoops. They drooped my camera, didn't they? Last book. I'm excited to show you this one because this one is scarce. This one is very rare. And it is Prime #1. And I know what y'all are thinking. Dude, damn it. That's a dollar bin book. Oh, but it is not. And let me show you why this is not a dollar bin book and why this is such a scarce copy. If I get it out, it's hard to get out of the bag here. I don't want to crumple or wrinkle or... There we go. Get it under it. This is a printer's proof copy. You'll notice, and it is an untrimmed printer proof copy. Uncirculated. Never been trimmed. All the way around you can see it. And I would try to explain... I could try to explain to you what you probably know. I mean, not trying to insult anyone's intelligence, but for those of you who do not know what a printer's proof is, there's a COA on the back, and it comes directly from Malibu Comics, which is the parent company of Ultraverse, as you can see. But the certificate on the back explains it way better than I could. And the certificate says, this is to certify that the accompanying untrimmed printer's copy of Prime #1 is from the original first printing in June 1993. This book was the launching title that began the entire Ultraverse. Another key element said, an untrimmed printer's proof, sometimes called a tear sheet or gut sample, is a copy of the comic book sent directly from the printer to the editors right off the printing press. Books at this stage in the manufacturing process are supplied to the editors for their approval of the printing prior to the books being shipped to the distribution warehouses. There are always a limited number of these untrimmed proofs that are intended only for the use of editorial and printing staff in evaluating the final product in time to catch any possible defects in the book. An untrimmed printer's proof is by definition a rare item. So that explains it way better than I can. I was a huge fan of Prime in the early 90s, 1993, when this came out, and I started reading it, and I was reading it, and I loved it. Loved Prime. It's, in case you're unfamiliar with it, it's kind of a rip-off of Shazam. A little mixture of Shazam and Superman in that he's a little boy that turns into a grown-up superhero, superpowered superhero, and, you know, invincible like Superman. Basically got almost all Superman's powers. But it's a boy that transforms into Prime. So, yeah, definitely a little bit of a rip on Shazam, but I don't care. I really liked it, and it is going to fill the final spot on my wall, or the final spot so far on my wall. So we will guard this baby up, or case this baby up, and lock her down, and it is ready for the wall. Love these things. But any rate, so there you go, man. Little news about the channel. you may see a slowdown in the channel, and maybe even possibly a pause on the channel for about the next few months or few weeks to a month. I'm spending too much money on crap that ends up being given away or sold for pennies and stuff, and I'm trying to refocus and not buy so much frivolous stuff. That being said, I will complete my foil facsimiles of Secret Wars and Crisis on Infinite Earths, and probably any of the key facsimiles like this one and Deadpool #1. You know, the foil facsimiles of the big books, I'm probably going to keep collecting them. But as far as anything new, I'm just over it. I'm kind of over it a little bit of the new stuff. I might pick one up here and there. But if you see any videos, if you see videos coming out, I think next week's video is going to have, well, it may have some more. I'm working on a trade. He's messaging me as I film right now. Working on a trade, but it's going to be a trade for some key books, some older stuff, and I'm kind of getting away, like I said, from the newer stuff. My collection is getting out of hand. Even though I've cut it down by about 7 short boxes. Sorry, I'm making this noise because I'm still playing with this coin that I got from Mozpaz. This two-faced coin that I made an idiot out of myself on the video where I unboxed it, saying I think this is an actual real silver dollar, and then I'm flipping it over, and clearly it's got 2 heads, so it's not a real silver dollar, but it has that heft and that feel of the real silver dollar. Anyway, off the subject, but anyway, like I said, you may see a week go by where you don't see any content. I'm trying to think of some other kind of content I can do other than haul videos. I'm not as articulate as a lot of the other bigger channels. I don't have the production value as all the other bigger channels. It's me, my phone, and my background, pretty much. I have a green screen, and I could do some effects and stuff like that, but it's such a hassle, and it didn't help me much when I was doing it. So, I really don't, and oddly enough, my bitch videos where I just complain and gripe about stuff get the most hits, most views, most activity, but I don't want to become known as the guy that gets on here and just complains about stuff. Which, by the way, not a complaint, so I'm not going to do a whole video on it. PSA is going to start grading comics. I'm a little confused because I thought CGC purchased PSA. Somebody help me out in the comments with this because I'm a little confused. So I thought PSA, or am I thinking of a different grading company that the CGC bought out? I was sure it was PSA, but I may be mistaken. But so that's what's confusing me. So I mean, and if not, and if I'm wrong about this, and CGC does not own PSA, I'm thinking to myself, what is the benefit going to be for having another grading company? Well, for me, none, because I just hate them all. But PSA has a reputation, for cards, Pokemon and sports cards and stuff like that. So, I mean, they're used to grading. They're just not used to grading pages. They're not used to having to flip through each page meticulously. Not that CGC does that. I mean, it's becoming abundantly clear that CGC, I think, just spins a wheel and randomly assigns a grade to these things. It's crazy. But, so I kind of mixed about how I mean, it doesn't affect me. I don't have a dog in the race, to be honest, because I'm not going to send it to anybody to get it graded. But as far as the community that does use it, I see them making mistakes, lots of mistakes in their infancy, but I also see where it could go that they're extremely harsh. Once they get it down, I think, and they learn the process and go through page by page, I think they're going to be extremely harsh. I think it's going to be to where I don't know that they'll take over, the number one spot from CGC, because everybody wants a high grade. It's kind of a double-edged sword. If they're harsher, that means if you get a 9.8, a 9.9 for PSA, it would command more value, I would think, because of the harshness. But at the same time, if you're a seller, you kind of want to send it to somebody who's more likely to give you that 9.8, 9.9 and not be so harsh. So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. I am really curious to know, as someone who's not a slab guy. I'm curious to what you slab guys think about it. It's going to be interesting to see which way this goes, because I think deep down inside, resellers, they want that 9.8, and they want it from the most prestigious, the gold standard of the grading companies, because they realize that CBCS, a 9.8 from CBCS doesn't mean as much as a 9.8 from CGC. Well, now if you get a stricter one from PG or PSA, is is it going to drive the value up higher than a CGC? Or like I said, or are people going to continue to use CGC because they're not as strict? It's going to be an interesting thing. I'm interested to see how it unfolds. I'll follow it. But anyway, I know I've rambled on. It's made this short video into a 23-minute video. But so let me know in the comments what you think. I'm curious to hear your thoughts on this. It's going to be awesome. It's going to definitely be an awesome little story to follow. But that is going to do it for this haul video. Please do all those YouTube things. Love for you to do. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. And we will see you in the next one. Peace.